Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 27? We're going to break it down simple by position, looking at all the best picks in the game right now. So let's do goalkeepers first. And obviously we've got the next 5 column, and that's got blank Gameweek 31 baked into it now, which is why you're going to see the likes of Raya, Donnarumma, Henderson and Sarr lower on these for the next few weeks. The same applies to defenders, mids and forwards, of course, from Arsenal, Man City, Palace and Wolves. It's Sanchez who's top this week, and they've got the best fixture defensively. They're playing home to Burnley. He has been a disappointing pick though, given some of the fixtures they've had. Like, they've had a run of Fulham, Brentford, Palace, West Ham, Wolves and Leeds, and he's got 1 clean sheet over those 6 games. After the Burnley game, Chelsea have got Arsenal, Aston Villa and Newcastle, so avoid buying him despite him topping the table this week. It's a potential fixture swing to look at selling your Chelsea assets if anything. In my case, just Enzo, and he's going to be shifted on after the next game week. Henderson is second on the table this week, 4.0 points projected against Wolves, which is another home fixture, and obviously off the back of a home upset last game week, losing 3-2 to Burnley. And then after that it's Raya for the North London derby. That'll be Tudor's first game in charge of Spurs as well. So looking at the next 5 game weeks, it's actually Keller who's top in the league. Brentford have got a fantastic fixture on, and they're going to be pushing for European spots even, if they can continue their form into these games. They've got Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Everton, Fulham, Man United and West Ham. They've got a lot of exciting picks across all positions, Brentford, and he's only 4.6 mil. Don't get me wrong, defensively they haven't been the best. They're 13th for expected goals conceded over the last 6, likewise 13th best over the season, but he is the 4th top scoring keeper thanks to a lot of save points and some penalties stopped. He's only 12 points behind Raya in fact, at 1.4 million cheaper. Defenders next. So Collins is looking like he could be a really promising pick for this fixture run, but he's not started the last 3 games in a row now. Ayer and Van den Berg have been the centre-back pairing. It's Munoz that leads this week. He's on 5.4 points of Palace home to Wolves. He still has potential. Like, he did create a big chance last week, and a 1-pointer was very unlucky and not a fair reflection really. It's Man United away, Spurs away after the next game, which isn't great, but then he does have Leeds home in Gameweek 30, followed by the blank Gameweek 31. For the exact same price, Van Dijk is the one who could be a better consideration. He doesn't blank at 31, and he's well ahead of Munoz for the next 5 game week projections with that in mind. And obviously 17 points the last game week. That was his second biggest score ever in a single match. He scored a brace against Brighton in the 1920 season, and he conceded that game for his 17-pointer as well. He did also score a brace once upon a time against Watford in the 18-19 season, and he kept a clean sheet for a 20-pointer. He's in a sweet spot. I think only he and Gabriel are in. An elite defence, he's good for defcons, and he's averaging 9.65 defcons per 90, plus he's got the goal threat off set pieces and corners. Liverpool's 29.69 XGC ranks 3rd best this season, and they're also 3rd best over the last 6 game weeks. Given everything that we were saying about Sanchez and his fixture swing after Game Week 27, the same applies to James and Chalobah, who just don't look like good buys right now. If you're playing Draft or FPL Challenge, then obviously they're great for this 1 week, but otherwise don't buy them. Anderson is on 4.3 projected points. He's actually second only to Van Dijk in the league for the next 5 game week projections among defenders. And obviously without a blank, Arsenal defenders will be top as well, but this is what we're working with at this part of the season. Like, if you're not using a chip in Game Week 31, then Anderson and Van Dijk are fantastic picks. As is Senesi for 4.8 mil. He's 3rd for the next 5 game week projections. His 4 million counterpart Hill's actually been really impressive, and he's proper taken his chance since Iriola gave it to him. He's returned in 4 straight game weeks, 3 assists and 1 clean sheet. Bournemouth's fixtures are pretty good. They've got West Ham, Sunderland, Brentford, Burnley, Man United. Some other names to mention with the next 5 game weeks in mind specifically. Cash is on 18.0 if he's fit for Game Week 27. Tarkowski 17.7 points, Mukiele 17.4, Hill 16.9. Midfielders next, and if you're a Palmer owner, then he's got to be the choice for captaincy. He got a rest in the FA Cup, obviously a few pens in there, but he's on a 20-pointer and a 12-pointer in his last 2 games. He faces Burnley, whose 50.9 expected goals conceded ranks worst in the league this season by a distance. Bruno is second on the mids table, 6.2 points, Palmer 6.7, and then it's Salah on 6.1. He got a goal and assist in the FA Cup, Salah, and he has been getting consistent returns since his return from AFCON, but no hauls in the league yet, 3 assists in 4 games. We've seen some managers going Haalandless with Salah and Palmer, and it's worked a treat. Enzo and Neto also on the table for the Burnley game, but I just wouldn't go there, as I was saying earlier, unless you can bench or sell them in Gameweek 28 really. Semenyo has been immense since signing for City. 5 goals, 2 assists in 9 games, 7 returns in 9. And don't get me wrong, obviously there's all this talk of blank Gameweek 31, but if you're already planning to free hit that week, or maybe you've got loads of transfers and you can afford to go for someone like him, then he's a very strong buy this week. And Man City are home to Newcastle. They're going to have no Jolinton and now no Bruno G in midfield. And Newcastle have never won a league game without Bruno G since he joined in 2022. That's 10 games they've played without Bruno G, 5 draws, 5 losses. So going back to the Brentford conversation, they've got some fixtures worth targeting, and Sharda makes the table there with 4.9 points. He's back from suspension. And the other one is Dango, who's on 4.5 points, just slightly behind. Dango's default minutes on average are 76 for the next 5. That might be a bit too harsh. He has played 2 90s in a row, but in the 2 games before that he played 59 and 53. There's not a great deal separating the two for the next 5 game weeks. Looking back over the season so far, let's compare their stats. Sharda leads on expected goal involvement 10.39 to Dango's 6.24. In terms of minutes per XGI, since Dango went to AFCON, it's a little bit closer, but again Sharda's 178.3 mins per XGI is better than Dango's 224 minutes per. Interestingly though, Dango's the winner when it's points per match. They are 1.1 million apart in price, so obviously it depends on what that money can do for you as well. And for example, in my case, Enzo to Dango in Gameweek 28 when Enzo's got Arsenal leaves just about enough money to do Rice to Verts potentially, whereas Sharda doesn't afford that luxury. The data comparison here is from Scout. Click the link below to get a 50% discount. Access all my tables and other members' benefits. So, since we looked at the top defenders for the next 5 game weeks before a potential wildcard in Gameweek 32, let's do the same in the mids. So that list, sorted by the most over the next 5, is Salah top, and then Bruno, then Palmer, then Verts, then Sharda, and then Dango. So Verts in 4th is something that I'm really looking at, and I'm determined to get him in Gameweek 28 when Liverpool are home to West Ham. However, he's perfectly fine to buy this week as well if it fits your team. Some other mids to note, and Mbumo's on 22.2 for the next 5, Wilson 22.0, Rogers 21.4. The right time to buy Wilson could be Gameweek 29. They've got West Ham home that week, Fulham. And then blank Gameweek 31, they've got Burnley home. You can also give yourself a couple of game weeks to kind of observe if Bob will have any impact or more of an impact on his minutes or not. Like last game, Wilson did come off for 72 minutes for Bob. Ryan has returned in all 3 games since joining Bournemouth. He's on 20.4 points for the next 5. Though Review, I think, seems to struggle sometimes when it comes to new signings, understandably. Like, it's really hard to predict exactly how a new arrival will do. He does look a brilliant signing though for Bournemouth, a possible gem that they found there with an eye for goal. Onto the forwards next, and Haaland's got a yellow flag currently after missing the FA Cup, and obviously he came off for half time in Gameweek 26, which has got a penalty here against his points. So he's on 5.2 points, which places him joint top with Thiago among the forwards. Without the flag, he'd be on 6.8 points though, so that's something to keep in mind. You know, if we see him training nearer the deadline or if Pep confirms that he's fine. 6.8 points would have been very marginally top of all players. Palmer was on 6.7, Bruno 6.2. So the latest quote from Pep on Haaland is as follows. He's not 100%, but we'll see today how he feels. It's not a big issue, the doctor said to me. But he had some disturbance before and during the game, and we'll see his evolution. It's worth noting as well, due to not finishing top 8, Newcastle were going to have to play a Champions League game midweek on Wednesday before Gameweek 27, and it's away versus Karaj, which is going to do them absolutely no favours before an away game against Man City as well, whereas City are getting that midweek off. Forest and Palace are the other 2 that will play in Europe before Gameweek 27. Their games are on Thursday. Plus, of course, we've got the finale of double Gameweek 26 for Arsenal and Wolves. It's a very strong week to buy Thiago if you don't own him. I mean, he should really have scored against Arsenal, and he's bound to score on these upcoming fixtures, worth every penny for 7 million. He's the top forward for the next 5 Gameweek projections, just about. Ekitike Thiago is a tricky one. In theory, that's just about worth it when you look at this game week and the next 5. And it does free up 1.9 million, which could be used on Verts, and you swap Ekitike to Verts basically. Personally, I like Verts and Thiago more than Dango and Ekitike, but both are strong. Bowen has got Bournemouth home and he's only 0.2 points behind Thiago this week, so if you wanted to wait one more week for a bit more information, see if anything changes, plus you get an extra transfer, then that's perfectly fine to give Bowen one more game. Strand Larsen obviously bagged that brace against Burnley, a dream start to his Palace career, and he's got Wolves home, but I think I'd be a bit reluctant to buy him unless you're free hitting in Game Week 31, or maybe if you've got lots of transfers to navigate that week easy enough. What are your transfer plans? Who are you thinking of buying and who are you selling? Leave a comment below. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you're subscribing. See you soon for the next one.